Hello, welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts, and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Fair and Wormer, and with me today are my two fellow worms, Eli Copperman and Austin Kelly. Say hi.
Hiya.
Well, hi there, DNC there, folks.
So as mentioned, this is for Fair and Wormer, released in 1946. It's the 483rd in the series, and it's directed by Chuck Jones. You can currently find this restored print on the HBO Max streaming service. Okay, so in case you haven't seen this cartoon, here's just a brief synopsis. It's actually very simple. You've got a bird chasing a worm, a cat chasing the bird, the dog chasing the cat, and of course a dog catcher chasing after the dog. And you just see all the shenanigans, and that's pretty much it. So what you're about to see is a remix of an audio commentary I did before I had to take it down due to a request by Warner Brothers Legal. So make sure you grab some popcorn and enjoy the remix commentary, plus a few little added bits that I've thrown in as well. So enjoy!
Is it just me, like, having rewatched this cartoon in a long time and noticing how beautiful it looks restored, or do the backgrounds look like children's book illustrations?
They do. I was going to point that out as well. Yeah, thanks a lot, Eli. No, just kidding.
Well, it's interesting you guys mentioned the backgrounds. It wouldn't surprise me if they stuck out against the other backgrounds that were appearing in the Jones cartoons, 46, 45, 47, because Maurice Noble was actually doing some work for Jones around this period, uncredited, of course. I think he just recalled in an interview that he worked for Jones on some of the 46 releases, but he didn't know which exactly they were. So people are always speculating, and I wouldn't be surprised if those children's book illustrations were Noble's work.
I mean, I don't know if it's like one of the better cartoons, like, generally, but like, I think what at least I enjoy about it is, like, outside of it being like a general chase cartoon executed very well for like the timing and the poses and all that, I just kind of see it as like any of the basic foes from like a bird trying to catch a worm, to the bird being chased by the cat, to the cat being chased by the dog, and the dog being chased by the pound hunters, being chased by his wife, and then get chased by a mouse. All of those different scenarios come up, and they all work within the story.
Well, see, the thing about this one, it's very weird. I never knew if it was supposed to be just a chase cartoon, but more interesting and not as typical as most chase cartoons were, or a parody of chase cartoons, or a parody of silent comedy. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but all I can say is that I think this is a very funny cartoon. Obviously, the Predator and Prey format was very popular at Warner's and very popular in the Hollywood animation industry overall. But I think the idea of having multiple predators and multiple prey, it opens up a lot of different doors for guys like Jones, who were very creative and were, avidly trying to, go against what were already the written laws of what you could do in cartoons and what you couldn't. I just think it's so interesting to see, the bird trying to help out the dog, and the dog trying to get away from the dog catcher, and the dog also trying to get the cat, and the bird trying to avoid the cat, and all kinds of interesting things. I think so many interesting different character dynamics are also opened up in this world. Obviously, it's also a precursor to, those great Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote cartoons, in a way, I suppose. But I think this is a great cartoon. I mean, Anthony, I would be interested, what didn't you exactly like about this one? I know you said beforehand that you didn't think it was a bad cartoon by any means, but why? I guess the right question to ask would be, why aren't you loving it as much as we are?
Now, I answered that question in the original track, but I felt that I didn't get enough time to prepare for an answer, so here's, I guess, my explanation for it. I think there are just too many characters. And I can see what Chuck was trying to do, is like this clever idea of all these different chase dynamics, bird chasing the worm and cat chasing the bird and so on, and wanting to do something with it, and it's very admirable. And, you know, it works a lot. Well, it works pretty well for the most part. It's just, I don't know, I just can't relate to these characters. And I think that's the biggest problem here. You know, at least with the Cody and Roadrunner, you can relate to, well, pretty much both of the characters. At least I can. I don't know about you guys watching. But this one, you just got these 5 generic characters that are just angry characters chasing after each other, and that's it. But as I mentioned to Austin and Eli, it's actually not a bad cartoon by any stretch of the imagination. I just couldn't connect to this one, and I think that's a big problem here. You got to connect to the characters, you know, for the cartoon to actually work. But if you haven't seen this, I definitely still highly recommend it. And that's why, in terms of a score, look, I'm going to give this one a 6.5 out of 10. I confirmed with Eli that he would have given this one about a 7 out of 10. But weirdly enough, I asked Austin, what would you rate this one? And he said he would rate this one a 10 out of 10. I'm thinking, wow. So this is like up there with Long-Haired Hair, What's Opera Doc, and all those masterpieces. I mean, to each their own, but that's his score. I mean, I definitely want to know your score. So definitely let me know in the comments down below for your score on this cartoon.
Everybody wants to get into the act.
As for what the dog catcher just said, that's an imitation of Jimmy Durante with one of his sayings that he would usually do in his movies.
For those who don't know, in those days at the Warner Brothers studio, the director would do the character layouts, and the credited layout artist would draw the backgrounds, and those backgrounds would essentially be the template of what the staging would look like. And
yeah, I think this is a great one. I mean, like I said, I don't really know if it's supposed to be a parody of Chase cartoons, a legit Chase cartoon, but I think it's very funny. Eli, I think the point you made about the layout and the staging, I mean, I never really look at those elements in particular when I'm viewing a cartoon, but now that you mention it, I mean, this one looks great in terms of design and layout and timing especially. I think this is a great cartoon that is very much so underappreciated and underrated.
So that'll do it for this one. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
See ya.
y'all, folks.
Say, pardon me, but do you always have to go through that just to get something to eat?
Eat it, nothing. This is the last furnished apartment in town.